the rumors are true. They're actually taking organs from people that are not even dead.
Don't say I didn't warn y'all. This is a warning to everybody who just clicked on this video. You will not be the same after watching these TikToks. The dark secrets that we're going to expose today will change your reality as we know it. And unfortunately, there's no way to recover from that, but you're coming with me, so I guess we're both cooked. And for those of you in the comments who say, Sean, these videos are not even scary, just wait, bro. Just wait till the end of the video, because I got something for you. And make sure you don't watch alone, because this is going to get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
Amazon just quietly added facial recognition to Ring doorbells, and it's now storing profiles of every single person that ever shows up at your door. Okay, so this is kind of insane. Amazon just rolled out a new feature called Familiar Faces to Ring doorbells across America, and it does exactly what it sounds like. The camera now scans every single person who ever approaches your door, and it builds a facial profile of them and stores it on a cloud. You can label up to 50 people on your profile, which can obviously be family, friends, delivery drivers, or neighbors. And instead of the app telling you that someone is at your door, it'll say mom is at the door. This obviously may sound a little bit convenient, but the problem that everybody's having right now is that your face is being scanned and stored on Amazon servers whether you consent to it or not. You do not have to own a Ring camera for this to affect you. You just have to walk past one. Privacy groups are absolutely losing it online over this right now. The Electronic Frontier Foundation is saying that this feature could easily be repurposed for mass surveillance. And then multiple states, including Illinois and Texas, have already completely banned this feature because of biometric privacy laws. Amazon has officially said that unnamed faces are stored for 30 days before being deleted, so even strangers get logged. How do you guys feel about this?
Yo, imagine you get this feature and you think it's going to be useful, and then you just see serial killer is approaching your door. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm never opening the door again.
This 15-year-old boy is missing after he made a friend on Roblox and ran away to New York City to go hang out with them. Police are asking you to help find Thomas Medlin. He is a 15-year-old boy who left on a train from Long Island to New York City and was last seen at Grand Central Station and on a security camera in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago. His mom has gone on the news and asked for whoever has her son or whoever he's staying with to please just let her know that he's okay. She said whenever he's ready to come home, let us know. We will come and pick him up. She just wants to make sure that he is safe because she has not seen or heard from him in over 2 weeks. She said he was able to bypass the parental controls on Roblox and make his own account where he met this person that he left school with 2 weeks ago to go and find in New York City. Roblox has responded saying, "We are deeply troubled by the incident and are working with law enforcement to support their investigation." Police describe him as 5 foot 4 inches, weighing 130 pounds, and he was last seen wearing a black jacket with red stripes, dark sweatpants with white stripes, and a black backpack and glasses. So if you live in New York City and you have seen him, please call the police immediately.
No way did the US military just do a Maduro in Scotland.
2 people have been abducted from Scotland in the middle of the night. Our sovereignty has been violated, our courts have been defied, and a foreign military has abducted 2 people from our territory.
Yeah. So, earlier this month, a Russian-flagged oil tanker was seized as it was traveling through the waters between Iceland and Scotland. And in a late-night hearing on Monday, the court ruled that the ship's captain and the first officer must be kept in the UK under Scottish territorial jurisdiction. And this was actually at the request of the captain's wife, Nadia, fearing that her husband could be abducted. However, the very next day, he disappeared. It was only after Scotland's prosecution office revealed that at about 3:04 a.m. they received an email from the US Justice Department informing them that they went on board and are now in possession of both the captain and first officer. Nice of them to email though. Now the Scottish Greens Party co-leader was furious, saying that the Scottish and UK governments need to respond to this, and even suggested evicting all US troops from where they're based in Prestwick Airport. Now the US have responded to these claims, saying that their arrest was lawful and that the men will now be brought to the United States to face prosecution in a US court. But what do you guys think? Should Scotland be pissed right now, or was this arrest fair game?
Dude, AI just challenged 100 years of forensic science by proving that fingerprints are not actually unique, and this could now officially reopen thousands of criminal cases. So this is obviously insane because for over a century now, the entire justice system has operated on one fundamental assumption. Every single fingerprint is completely unique on every single person. That is settled science. Except it's not, apparently, because this team at Columbia Engineering just fed 60,000 fingerprints into an AI system. Not to compare the fingerprints from different people, but to compare fingerprints from different fingers on the same person. Everyone assumed that they would be completely different because that is what forensic science has taught us for 100 years, but the AI found patterns that no one has ever noticed before. It could match fingerprints with different fingers on the same person with 77% accuracy on a single pair, and then much higher when analyzing multiple pairs. Okay. Whenever the researchers tried to go out and publish this in a major forensics journal, they got rejected. The reviewer literally said it is well known that every fingerprint is unique and refused to consider the paper. Except it's obviously not. Experts are literally saying that this could now officially reopen old investigations and potentially exonerate people who were wrongfully convicted based off of faulty fingerprint matches. What?
This one is for good. So that when we hold hands, they touch.
Yesterday, Ariana Grande officially ended her relationship with Cynthia Erivo, and it's even more terrifying than we thought. Just 3 months ago, we were seeing them together constantly, but every time they appeared in interviews or in public, something felt off. Ariana would cry or say really strange things. It was clear all of this was hiding something much darker. With every new appearance together, Ariana looked worse and worse health-wise. Fans started getting genuinely worried, and seeing all this, a lot of people became convinced that Cynthia was acting as Ariana's handler, and I think they might have been right, especially after Ariana posted that photo. Everything changed after the end of the promo for their project. We learned that the two of them were no longer speaking, and that they had reportedly developed a competitive dynamic around their eating disorders. But now Ariana says she's doing better, and when we saw her at last week's Golden Globes, she actually did look healthier. Some people even said she looked as beautiful as she used to. We all hope that whatever happened is truly over now, because none of that felt normal at all. Tell me what you think in the comments. Because before all this, their friendship looked close, but also really strange. I honestly don't understand what happened.
Only Olmec knows the legend behind each of the treasures in his temple.
Okay, let's just listen to that name again.
The legend of the collar of...
They're gonna have to pass some pretty tough physical and mental tests, and in the end, only one team will earn the right to enter Olmec's temple. Are you ready, Olmec?
Rock is ready to roll.
On your mark!
Okay, so this is The Legend of the Hidden Temple, a kids' game show on Nickelodeon. Pure nostalgia, right? I saw a recent video around it, and what I saw was quite shocking. I was listening to the name of the godhead. They kept mentioning Amalek, and I paused because that name sounds uncomfortably close to something else. Molech, a name that comes up in a lot of ancient texts. Symbolism, often claimed as a myth and often associated with sacrifice of a certain category of people. Now, was it intentional? Who really knows? But it's interesting because kids' shows don't pick names randomly. And when you start noticing how often certain symbols, names and themes repeat, is it a coincidence? Maybe. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
A$AP Rocky just got accused of murder of his best friend. This is not a joke. This is not clickbait. This is real. So Ian Connor, popular streetwear designer who was huge back in 2015 to 2018, then had a pretty big fall off due to some allegations that came up on his name, just went on Twitter and basically said A$AP Rocky killed A$AP Yams and he's done hiding it. He just wants everybody to know the truth now. Where did this come from? This is like insane. So if you're like me, you haven't really heard much from Ian Connor or cared much about him for the past decade, really. And someone even said it right here, like, people aren't going to listen to him because of the allegations he has on his name, but, you know, it could add up, it could make sense. I'm not saying it does or doesn't, but he goes on to say a few things like this. So he shouldn't be sharing this for legal reasons, but he just wants to clean his side of the street and really just let the world know, like, what the truth is, so to speak, the truth as far as he believes. And he replied to a lot of people in his mentions after this, basically just going off saying, I'm standing on this, this is true. They might take me out, they might arrest me, they might delete my account, they might try to kill me. I don't care. This is what I need to tell the world. Do you guys believe him? Do you not? This is an insane allegation. Honestly, this is nuts.
would have never expected this to happen. But let us know what you think. We'll see you guys in the next one with more updates.
I mean, with the world we're living in right now, I would not be surprised if this is true. But then again, the person accusing him is a weirdo himself. So it's kind of like you got two weirdos in the mix. So you kind of don't know who to pick.
There is a lot of weird stuff with Kobe Bryant's death. The helicopter crash mirrors a different helicopter crash where a CEO went down. There's mirroring in it. The Kobe sacrifice being something that kicked off the ritual. Well, yeah, he died January of 2020. So right before the kickoff. And of course, I was thinking about totally different things at that time, but he was buried in Corona del Mar Cemetery. And that's a major hit. There's a cartoon that features Kobe Bryant going down in a helicopter crash, and right on the tail of the helicopter is a Freemasonic square and compass. What the hell?
The big takeaway that I took away was he died the day of the Grammys or the day before, and they did this ritual at the Grammys. So while the Grammys was going on, these big figures are passing away. It seems to be a very energetic ritual of sacrifice.
Beyonce, right? Yeah. There's a theory that she signed away her soul, right? Not fucking Beyonce. And the crazy thing is that it's so apparent, bro. Because if you go back to her album, I believe it was in 2016, it was called Lemonade, right? Yeah. In the intro, everything is fine. It gets weird. She's talking about how she made it here or whatever. And then she proceeds to say that I had to drink blood. It gets even creepier, dog. That she has this quote-unquote split personality, which is called Sasha Fierce. Sasha Fierce? Her split personality is classed as an quote-unquote alter ego. But it doesn't fall under the category of alter ego or split personality. The crazy thing is that the way that she describes it and what she does, it sounds more like a term called the witching hour. Yeah, I feel like I've heard that before.
And it's believed at one point in time, Mars had a much different environment, right?
It appears highly likely that Mars had liquid oceans a long time ago. Mars is covered in ice, and now the ice is then covered in dust, mostly except at the poles. If Mars was warmed up, you'd have an ocean about a mile deep on 40% of the planet.
Am I the only one to this day that finds how Barack Obama's chef, Tafari Campbell, and how he passed away to be very mysterious and strange, and quickly swept under the rug? In July of 2023, Tafari Campbell goes out to Martha's Vineyard, where Barack Obama has a residence. That night, he goes paddleboarding in Edgartown Great Pond in Martha's Vineyard. He falls over his paddleboard. He goes missing. Come to find out, he drowned. The only problem is Edgartown Great Pond is only 2 to 4 feet deep. He could have stood up. Reports say that he went into the water, appeared to briefly struggle to stay on the surface, and then submerged and did not resurface. Not only is Tafari Campbell a professional swimmer, but again, Edgartown Great Pond is only 2 to 4 feet deep. Quickly swept under the rug that he just had an accident, and that was that.
You know, I'm not a genius by any means, but a professional swimmer drowning, it does not add up, especially falling into water that he's literally taller than. So, you know, y'all could do what you want with that, but...
We are so stupid. The answer was in front of us the whole time. As we all know, the Seahawks are going to play the Patriots in this year's Super Bowl. But let's go back to September 4th for a second. Just 2 days before this season even kicked off. Because on that day, the NFL would post this graphic showing a player from each team staring at the Lombardi Trophy in the distance. Seems pretty normal, right? And by the way, if you like elite sports content like this, make sure you're following. Now stay with me here because this could be a conspiracy even bigger than the logo theory. Because watch this. Now I'm gonna zoom in, and I want you to take a look at this graphic again, and look at which two players the NFL decided to put closest to that Lombardi Trophy. You've gotta be kidding me. Is this really a coincidence, or did the NFL scriptwriters plan this the whole time? But guess what? I'm not done. Because you know what makes this thing even more crazy? Take a look at the preseason Super Bowl odds for both the Seahawks and the Patriots. Both teams over-under was only 8.5 wins. Forget the Super Bowl, neither team was even supposed to make the playoffs. And randomly, the NFL just put these two guys here? I'm not usually into conspiracies, but it sure seems like the NFL scriptwriters had this thing planned the whole time.
This footage of Emmanuel Macron left people stunned. His teeth look completely different from how they usually appeared. Look at this clip. Do you notice how sharp they look? It almost seemed like they had changed their shape right in front of the camera. Here they looked far from his usual teeth, which looked like this. The difference was too strange to ignore, and when compared side by side, it looked like he was shape-shifting, and his teeth revealed his identity. So was this just a case of digital manipulation, or could it be that these world leaders are shapeshifters? For years, people have talked about reptilians living among us, trying to blend in with humans. But no matter how much they try to hide, small details always give them away. That's exactly what might have happened to Bob Corker during his speech at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. As he spoke on stage, his eyes changed completely. His pupils turned into narrow slits, just like a reptilian, and stayed that way for a while. When the clip became viral, people started saying that he must be a reptilian in disguise, whose mask had slipped off right on camera.
Yo, screw the eyes. Look at his dome. His head is literally like this big, bro. Everyone's over here talking about his eyes. How do you even notice his eyes? His head is literally the size of a watermelon.
Okay, major breaking good news. For the first time ever, scientists have just achieved the complete eradication of one of the most common forms of pancreatic cancer in mice using a combination of 3 low toxicity drugs. And this is the man who led the Spanish research team to achieve this promising breakthrough, Dr. Mariano Barbacid. And the reason this is being treated as such a big deal is because pancreatic cancer is one of the most deadly kinds, with this specific variant having a 5-year survival rate of under 10%. But despite this, they achieved the full disappearance of these pancreatic tumors, not just shrinking. The tumors did not come back during the study window, which is often the case, and they achieved this through the combination of 3 low toxicity drugs, which are much less intensive than going through chemo. And the mice tolerated it well. Now keep in mind, this is still just on mice, and we don't know how well this will perform in actual human trials, but considering the year we're having already, we're taking the W. What they're about to do with Khaby Lame is pretty scary. So you may have heard that this week he sold his business to a company based in Hong Kong for just under $1 billion. And that sale includes Khaby's brand, commercial activities, and even intellectual property. But the part that not enough people are speaking about is that this deal also includes his Face ID, his Voice ID, and even behavioral models. This is so that the company, which now essentially owns him, can create an AI digital twin for content. In fact, they even include the sentence multilingual cross-time zone live stream e-commerce content. So bro's gone from speaking 0 words to speaking every language 24/7 non-stop. And I mean, this is unprecedented. Khaby is now the first major creator to sell their likeness for mass AI replication. But here's the scary part. The company claims that through purchasing Khaby's likeness, they will be able to generate more than $4 billion in annual sales. For context, Beast Industries, Jimmy's company, was forecasted to earn $899 million in revenue for 2025. And bro's by far the largest creator in the world. So how the hell this company expects to make 4 times that has got me worried. How much AI Khaby Lame are we about to be flooded with in 2026? The question is, should more creators be cashing in and making deals like this? Or has Khaby made a big mistake?
It's actually a sound that will change your hearing forever.
Wait, no, I don't want to hear it.
It will straight up like change you forever.
No, then wait, what? In what way though? Wait, tell me before you play.
I'm just gonna play it. First, I want you to listen to this and then tell me what you hear. What do you hear?
Alien, like
just like robots, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play you another sound, and once I play you this sound, it's straight up gonna change you forever. It's gonna change you forever.
Okay.
Ready?
It was a sunny day and the children were going to the park.
Okay. Because you heard that, I'm gonna replay the other sound.
Okay.
And tell me what you hear. Oh! You hear the voice now! You hear the voice now!
How do you know it was just manipulated?
No, that was the original audio.
Are you sure?
That's the original audio. I can play the beginning. You ready?
Okay. I hear it.
And you hear it.
I hear it.
And you can never not hear it anymore. So what this does, it changes your brain because it gave you more information. And now you're subconsciously listening and it's hinting at those noises for you to listen.
Crazy.
Now,
This is why you should never let anyone kiss your baby. Or just don't kiss someone else's baby. A 2-year-old boy from England recently lost vision in his left eye after someone with an active cold sore kissed him, transferring the herpes simplex virus directly into his eye. The infection caused a blister to form on his cornea that quickly turned into a 4mm wide open wound, leading to repeated infections and permanent nerve damage. Doctors said the virus destroyed the feeling in that eye, and the brain eventually stopped sending signals to it, leaving him completely blind on that side. His parents tested negative for herpes, so doctors believe an acquaintance unknowingly passed the virus through a kiss. Despite weeks of treatment, the damage was irreversible, and doctors were later forced to sew his eyelid shut to protect what remained of that eye. In June of 2004, an 8-year-old girl slipped into the active pool at the Fort Worth Water Gardens, a fountain system powered by strong underground pumps that created a hidden undertow. When her father and 2 brothers jumped in to save her, they were immediately dragged under by the suction and drowned. A 4th bystander who tried to help was also pulled in and killed. None of them realized the pool contained current strong enough to trap adults underwater, and by the time the pumps were shut off, all 4 rescuers were already dead.
Alright, let's see if this thing's working now since everything was weird yesterday. And whenever that happens, I gotta ask the important questions for this test. Like, what if we've had mermaids wrong this whole time? What if it's not the lady on top and the fish on the bottom, but what if it's the fish on top and the lady legs underneath? So maybe we've seen mermaids a bunch of times, and just when fish pop out of the water, it's actually lady legs underneath. And in that case, those clamshell bikinis are just out of the question. But what do y'all think? Testing, testing.
This aired on Adult Swim in October 2018, and it's one of the most disturbing commercials that I've ever seen. And they call it art, surrealism, just visuals. But look at the layout. 3 figures with triangle heads. Triangles are seen as a hierarchy, direction, control. That's almost a ceremony shape. And then the baby is treated more like a offering, taken down and then returned as something that looks demonic. And that's the oldest storyline in ritual imagery. Death, transformation, rebirth. Here's what gets me. They're showing it all over TV. You're supposed to accept it. Now watch the middle figure again. This is the part that most people miss, because once you clock it, it stops feeling like art. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
The rumors are true. They're actually taking organs from people that are not even dead. Did you know about this? We have for years had a suspicion that hospitals were taking organs from people who were not even dead. But now an article from the New York Times confirms it. And I read the article so you don't have to. 38-year-old Daniela Gallegos was rushed into the emergency room, and the doctors told her 2 sisters that she was not going to make it. So they both agreed to donate her organs. Right before the surgery, Daniela began to cry, tears flowing down her eyes. The hospital staff was like, oh my gosh, she's alive. This woman can feel. She can hear us. The organ retrieval coordinators told her sisters, those are just reflexes. She's not really alive. Let's just go ahead and move forward with the removal of the organs. They even asked her to blink her eyes, and she blinked. And they still said the same thing. Oh, those are just reflexes. The doctor said, no, we're not going to move forward with this. She's still alive today. She's alive and well. Listen, I'm an organ donor. I have it on my license, but no more. Because what I read is that hospitals are actively searching for patients who are borderline. And what they'll do is they will give that patient sedatives, morphine, propofol, to knock that patient out so that they can remove the organs. This is alarming. I am so disturbed by this article because I have been a huge supporter of organ donation. I'm not a smoker. I know someone will benefit from having my lungs. But don't take them until I'm literally dead. After reading that article, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna go online and remove my name so that my license doesn't have that little heart. Because this article has really dampened my ability to trust that the personnel at the hospital is gonna do the right thing. This is not an isolated incident. It has happened way too many times. If this doesn't shock you, I don't know what else will.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really do appreciate everybody out there that donates and helps to these people. But for me, I'm gonna have to keep everything that's in my body where it is. You know, you can call me greedy, you can call me whatever you want, but I will be keeping it.
I have a conspiracy theory about this, and it's not even a fully formed theory. But a few weeks ago, Kim Kardashian said on her TV show that she believes the conspiracy theory that the moon landing was faked. I think it has something to do with her now notorious friendship with Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos. Jeff Bezos obviously has this pet project called Blue Origin. It's kind of a competitor to Elon Musk's SpaceX. They're both private companies that are meant to facilitate commercial flight to space. And so they're kind of at odds, but they have like complex relationships with NASA, which is a public government agency. Blue Origin has even sued NASA over some shit with SpaceX. I kind of feel like Kim taking a shot at NASA's credibility by suggesting that the moon landing was faked. Enough that NASA hit back. I don't know. It kind of tracks with her current social circle. The more that I've dug into her relationship with Jeff and Lauren, it's been even more fascinating than I expected. And rewarding, kind of. Like, I want to learn and write even more about it. Initially, when you guys were asking me to, like, explore or explain the meaning of her believing in this conspiracy theory, I didn't even make a video because my main impression was like, maybe I should have, but like, she just was kind of aligning herself with the people. Like, these conspiracy theories make her more relatable. Questioning systems is a way of aligning with us. But then I started to dig into her relationship with Jeff and Lauren, and it more has a Blue Origin subtext to it, kind of, to me. But again, this is just a conspiracy theory.
Turns out the type of music a person listens to says a whole lot about their personality. Researchers looked at more than 36,000 participants worldwide and 104 different musical styles and found some crazy similarities. No shock here, but the people who listen to pop music were very conventional. Most scientific diss I've ever heard. They were also extroverted, honest, but less creative and more uneasy as people. Those that love them club bangers, aka dance music, are typically outgoing, assertive, and open to experience, but ranked lower in gentleness. Getting handsy in the club, are we? People who listen to hip-hop and rap you'd think would be more aggressive and violent, but turns out there is in fact cap in their rap because researchers found no such link. However, they did tend to think very highly of themselves. Rock and heavy metal often projects images of anger, bravado, and aggression. However, this study exposed them all, finding them to be gentle, creative, and introverted with low self-esteem. Indie fans were introverted, intellectual, and creative, but were lazy, anxious, and also tended to have low self-esteem. Jazz, blues, and soul fans were extroverted, had high self-esteem, very creative, intelligent, and at ease. Sorry. Country listeners are conservative, less open to experience, but are hardworking, emotionally stable, and are from Alabama.
What's that? Was a dragon dug up in Romania and the skull and bones are there? Yes, it was. Did you see that video? Yeah, there's a guy in the hole with the dragon in there. And why have we not been able to believe in dragons before? Why is it mythological? Because if we're talking mythological, why aren't dinosaurs mythological? Riddle me that. We're going to say dragons are mythological, but we're not going to say pterodactyls are mythological, huh? Okay. Because, of course, in China, they have dragon as being a mythological creature, but it's alongside other creatures that aren't mythological. Why would that be? Is it maybe because it would be more terrifying to know that dragons were real than not? Even that over dinosaurs? I mean, probably. Okay, then.
I know you fucking lying. Did y'all hear what this man said? The goal isn't to make homes affordable, y'all. The goal is to keep prices high. So I'ma say this. If you already own a home, you're protected. But if you're looking to buy a home for your first time, you're cooked. Because when prices go up, rent go up, taxes go up, and regular people get squeezed the fuck out. And this man talking about the American dream. But he gatekeeping. That's how you keep the rich richer and the poor poorer. Housing should not be a flex. And it shouldn't be a reward for who gets there first. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this Amazon account.
Yo, take a look at this. We got Johnny Depp, one of the most famous actors of all time, right here, guys. I can't make this stuff up. Look what he's talking about right here. Right here. You guys can read. I can't make this stuff up, guys. One thing I do notice is that all these celebrities sure do love pizza. I don't know, man. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments what you guys think.
Morbid Facts, Part 883. When Tupac Shakur was shot and killed at the age of 25 in September of 1996, his longtime rival, the notorious B.I.G., was reportedly devastated. Despite their very public feud, multiple people close to Biggie said he cried when he heard the news and appeared genuinely shaken, telling friends, "Shit got effed up somewhere along the way, but that was my end." The two had once been close friends, but everything changed in 1994 when Tupac was robbed 5 times at a New York recording studio. Tupac believed people close to Biggie knew about the attack, especially after Biggie released the song Who Shot Ya soon afterward. Biggie insisted he had nothing to do with it and said the song had been recorded long before the shooting, but the damage was done. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry, fueled by diss tracks, media pressure, and growing paranoia about being shot, turned them into bitter enemies. But behind the scenes, Biggie reportedly feared the violence had gone too far and worried he might be next. 6 months later, Biggie was in Los Angeles by a drive-by shooting at the young age of 24. Both still remain unsolved to this day, turning one of hip-hop's most famous rivalries into one of its darkest tragedies.
Jay-Z is actually a time traveler. Do you see about this?
Oh, I seen the picture. I seen the picture. Yeah.
Wait, no. But there was also other evidence though. There was a picture 20 years ago where Jay-Z was standing up with a white t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
And so look, it's a Simpsons t-shirt.
Yeah.
Where he's sitting on the thing. So 20 years later.
Yeah,
Same thing. So everyone's like, oh yeah, people can read. He probably just recreated the photo, which is valid evidence, which I get. But everyone knows about. I think in Harlem, I think around the 1800s, there was a picture of Jay-Z, a guy that looked exactly like Jay-Z.
Where? What do you mean?
In Harlem. You don't know this?
No, I don't think I've seen this one.
Does this guy not look like fucking Jay-Z to you?
That literally looks like Jay-Z.
Yeah,
that's in Harlem?
Yeah, Harlem, 1980s. Right? And like, it makes sense though, because it's like, if you had a chance to go back in time and tell your younger self how to make riches, what did you do it? And look at Jay-Z, he's one of the most fucking, he's the richest guy in the world.
You know what's crazy too?
Alright, this is off topic, but I would hate to be trapped in a room with Jay-Z. Just look at bro's nose. He is going to absorb all the oxygen in there before you have any chance of breathing, bro. He's got the sniffer on him, I'm not gonna lie.
So back in 2021, this guy on TikTok started licking a Jawbreaker to see how many licks it would take to finish. And after licking it 1,000 times and marking it down, he made it to the first color. After 3,000 licks, it looked like this, and he said his tongue couldn't taste it anymore. At 4,000, it was here, and he switched to a click counter. But when he got to lick number 7,013, he got to the center and was pretty much exactly halfway through. But he was not halfway done, because it took him till 14,581 licks to actually break through to the other side. But then he had to stop for 3 days because his tongue actually started bleeding. At lick 19,000, the whole top came off, but his jaw started popping. And after licking the Jawbreaker 21,225 times over the course of 13 days, that caused a lot of jaw pain, he put it in the freezer for later, and his roommate accidentally threw it out.
Okay, breaking news. A staggering 3 million pages of the Epstein files have just been released by the US Justice Department. And they say that this is every single piece of paper the government has related to Jeffrey Epstein. These also include over 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. It's gonna be a long weekend. Now, the DOJ say that 500 lawyers have been working on these, and yes, there are redactions. In fact, every single woman's face, beside from Maxwell, is redacted, but they say that they have not redacted any of the men's faces. So officially, this is it. There should not be any more Epstein files after this, but the question is, will people find what they're looking for? Someone just tried to break Luigi out of prison using a pizza cutter. What is in New York's water? On Wednesday, a 36-year-old man named Mark Anderson from Minnesota arrived at the New York jail where Luigi is being held and told the officers that he was an FBI agent with orders to free Luigi Mangione. Now, as part of his plan, he then presented the officers with paperwork that he claimed was signed by a judge ordering his release. But this brother did not come up with a plan B, because as soon as officers asked him for his FBI credentials, bro panicked and gave them his government-issued ID. How is he gonna snitch on himself mid-crime? Realizing the officers were onto him, Mark threatened he has weapons and began throwing the documents at them. After he was quickly arrested, officers found these items in his bag, which include a barbecue fork and a pizza cutter. How are you gonna schedule a prison break after lunch? Mark now faces charges of impersonating an officer, which can carry penalties including up to 4 years in prison.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video. What made you tremble in your boots, and we're gonna be on to the next one. Thank you.